Well, if you still question how far left Democrats are going, listen to this. The left's Green New Deal is filled with unrealistic proposals that include 100% clean and renewable energy, eliminating gas-powered engines like cars, making air travel obsolete, retrofitting all existing buildings, and economic security for all, even those who are unwilling to work. Self-proclaimed Democratic socialist Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez explains her plan. Listen to this.
Today is also the day that we choose to assert ourselves as a global leader in transitioning to 100% renewable energy and charting that path. This is such a major watershed moment, and I am so incredibly excited that we are going to transition this country into the future, and we are not going to be dragged behind by our past.
So there's that. And check out how Democrats are hailing this dream deal. Enjoy, courtesy of Cory Booker.
And there's a lot of people now that are blowing back on the Green New Deal. They're like, oh, it's impractical. Oh, it's too expensive. Oh, it's all of this. If we used to govern our dreams that way, we would have never gone to the moon. And when the planet has been in peril in the past, who came forward to save Earth from the scourge of Nazi and totalitarian regimes? We came forward.
All right, so Juan, I'm going to start with you. How does this, so we've had a handful of Democratic contenders for 2020 sign on to this and say that they endorse it. How does this help Democrats in any way in trying to reconnect with some of these Rust Belt states, particularly when you're talking about eliminating their major sources of electricity in these states?
Oh, I think that you have, and I think this is why you have 9 of the candidates for president and 60 members of the House sign on, Lisa, is because they see that it's politically resonates with people who said, you know, we've been doing nothing. I think it was just
yesterday. But in
yesterday,
the Rust Belt states or in the Midwest?
Yeah, hold on. I'll explain. I think yesterday there was a report that we just had the 5 hottest years in the history of recorded history of the planet. And so I think people are concerned. Remember, this is a resolution. This is not even a piece of legislation. So
it doesn't matter.
It does matter because she is in bold strokes saying, and this is what Cory Booker was saying, here is where we should be thinking in order to innovate, to deal with these issues going forward. And in fact, what we know about things like cap and trade and alternate energy sources is that it's economically feasible. It generates jobs.
But Dana, what do you make of this? Because there's reports that the Trump campaign is ecstatic over this, the fact that so many Democratic hopefuls have signed on to this. What do you make of what Juan just said?
Well, I think that their slogan could, instead of hope and change, it could be the triumph of hope over experience. Because they know that it's a pipe dream. But the thing is, if you don't sign on to the dream, then you're like an old establishment guy.
They're against pipes, too.
Who
wants this dream?
And well, look, like, believe me, there are plenty of them, especially the younger people, and they're trying to get them all energized and excited. But they pay no political price within the Democratic Party for signing on to this dream. When it gets to the general election, yes, probably. But this, to me, was not about environmentalism. It's about progressivism, because you add in all the other things, healthcare, education, etc. And it's not, the taxes aren't the problem, physics are the problem. Because if you could figure out a way to not have fossil fuels, we would have done that by now. The physics just aren't there yet. And I know you want to go. The nuclear part of her deal, well, I should say Ed Markey's as well, who should probably know better, as he was the senior guy on energy and
he's an adult.
committee.
Hit puberty.
The initial document said they're going to do all of this in 10 years, get off fossil fuels, go completely renewable without the help of nuclear energy. There is no sane scientist on the planet who says that that is possible.
Brian?
So they've changed the document.
Free money, economic security, provide for those unable or unwilling to work, ban meat, healthy food for everyone, provide job training and education for all. What planet is this person on? What about capitalism? What about striving? I mean, why do I want one dream? Why do I want one path? What country, what society has ever provided all these things? Why is that even a goal?
Well, and Greg, about capitalism, America's already leading the world in reducing carbon emissions. Yep. So why do we need an entire government upheaval of essentially everything?
Because we're evil. That's the point. We are evil. The fact is, it's about an underlying shift. It's the fascist dream from taking away from the decentralized individual and handing power to a centralized force of government, which can only exist with force. This is a fantasy that requires an army, because you're going to have to enforce this on people. I think the plan will work, by the way. All you need is the Iron Man suit of armor, yes, the Star Trek transporter and the invisible cloak from Harry Potter, and I think this could work. But this is what you said. It's not about the climate. It's about a power grab, and it's about taking it away from the individual. You can't drive, you can't fly, but guess who still has the power? The people in charge. They'll still fly, they'll still drive, because they're more important than the public. So they'll take it from everybody. If you go to any socialist country, the socialist leaders still got the goods.
Right.
Like in Venezuela, they still got the goods.
And they'll fly in their private jets. Well, we'll end it there because I like that point, and it's my segment. So